This week for my video jigsaw, I was able to read an article by 3 authors that go by the names of Zachary Walker, Elazar Vasquez, and Wilfred Winke. The publication source and date was Educational Technology and Society, and it was published in the year 2016. The authors stated that social skills can often have a profound effect on an individual's interview performance. However, individuals with intellectual disabilities often struggle with social skills and self-advocacy skills that are paramount to the interview process. The authors wanted to go on to say how first impressions, just how much they matter in an interview, and they're very important, but often people with an intellectual disability struggle with the ability to attain the fluencies needed for such conversations. They also struggle with the ability to self-advocate, which is incredibly important to be able to do when you are competing for a job with other people that are also qualified to fill the same position. The purpose of this exploratory study is to investigate the efficiency of providing interview practice in a virtual learning environment along with live, face-to-face behavioral coaching based on the interview performances in the live virtual learning environments. This is a unique process because it provides the individuals with intellectual disabilities an environment that is more realistic and natural to what they would experience in a real-life interview. There were 5 participants, both boys and girls, ages 18 to 22. The first person's name was Jane. She's 18, a female, and in her second year in the intellectual disabilities program. One of her strengths is that she's very adaptable, but she needed to work on her lack of confidence and the fact that she was very timid, especially around men. Anne is a 20-year-old female in her first year, and she is motivated and very outgoing, but she lacks mobility, is something that they say that she needs to work on. Carlitos is a 20-year-old male in his second year in the program, and he is very confident, but he's easily fixated on one thing. Alana is very socially comfortable. She's a 21-year-old female. However, she also gets easily fixated on things. Belle is one of the final people in the study. She is a 21-year-old female, her first year in the program, and she is very confident and outgoing, but she has a processing disorder that they want to work on. The study took place in 2 locations. The first setting was a virtual classroom laboratory on the campus of a large urban university, and this place was used for the baseline and treatment interviews. The second setting was a small classroom adjacent to the live virtual reality classroom, and this is where the coaching sessions were conducted that took place following the treatment interview sessions. The interview performance rubric that measured the behaviors, verbal communication style, and content were created for this study, and it was used for an 11-question interview that addressed and measured 3 constructs. As mentioned above, they were overt behaviors, verbal communication style, and the content of the answers that the students with the intellectual disabilities provided to the interviewers. The participants could earn a total of 9 points per question, 3 points for each part that they were measuring. 14 to 21 days after the participants completed the treatment phase, they were engaged in a live interview with a member of the employee expert panel to check the generalization and how they were coming along in an actual live setting interview. Overall, Jane's mean score, based on the aforementioned rubric, improved as a result of the exploratory study. Belle also had an increase in her performance. However, Anne had a family emergency and missed a week and a half of sessions, but her score did also improve when she eventually came back and was able to consistently be in the program for about 6 weeks. Alana scored consistently above the 80th percentile in all of her interviews and on all of the rubrics, and so the use of the mixed reality environments and coaching to provide instruction for individuals with disabilities is innovative and has many potential research studies that can be done according to the authors. And what makes the mixed reality unique is that the opportunity is given to the individuals with the intellectual disabilities to practice these skills, again, in a setting that is realistic, but does not harm either them or the people that would be interviewing them, as they are not real. I believe that this study, I had never actually heard of using this particular method to conduct any sort of practice interviews. So I was actually very interested to read about all of it. I feel that it has a lot of potential to become a very important and interesting way that some of these students with intellectual disabilities can learn to better go through the interview process, which would give them a much higher chance of employment in the future.